every movement begins with a moment, not of noise, but of belief. A belief that finance can be rebuilt, that leadership can be reborn, and that technology can serve people, not control them. In 2026, this belief becomes a journey carried by leaders, innovators, and pioneers, and told through 5 defining events. It begins with velocity, a moment where everything built during the 60-day pre-launch comes together on the world stage. This is not a conference, it is a celebration, a tribute to the builders who carried the first spark of the Solnex ecosystem. The first 500 who turned ambition into reality. Velocity also marks an era-defining announcement. MetaSol and Solnex join hands with Global Crypto Bank, the world's first decentralized, self-custodial global banking and payments protocol. This partnership completes the final bridge, transforming your rewards ledger into a global financial hub. For our achievers, the journey begins with complimentary access, a free event pass, 2 nights of luxury accommodation, full access to Velocity, and a seat at the Genesis Gala. Velocity marks the sunrise, the point where the world sees the force behind Solnex for the very first time. 90 days after Velocity, it is time to build the next wave. Momentum is where raw potential becomes leadership, where new rank-ups are honored, where emerging giants are trained, and where expansion into key markets, the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa, begins with clarity and strength. This event fuels global acceleration, setting the tone for the next 6 months of explosive growth. Quantum marks the shift. The moment MetaSol steps out of the community and into the world of institutional finance. At this summit, the world witnesses Quantum Yield as a Service, a treasury-grade yield engine designed for institutions, DAOs, protocols, and venture networks, crypto VCs, financial protocols, treasury managers. This is where they meet the technology that the Solnex community helped bring to life. This event elevates MetaSol from an internal engine to a global financial standard, and it places Solnex members as the founding stakeholders of a B2B protocol long before TGE. What started with Velocity now arrives at its defining peak. At Ignition, the summit, the world gathers to witness the official token generation event of Dollar MetaSol broadcasted, documented, historic, and then the Night of Legends. The Genesis Gala commemorates not just achievement, but the people who built the foundation for global success. After a year of breakthroughs, only the top 1% ascend to Zenith, the most exclusive reward in the Solnex world. Zenith is not a convention, it is a lifestyle experience, a private, ultra-luxury retreat designed to honor those who shape the future of the ecosystem. This is where loyalty is forged, where the legend of the brand is preserved, and where every member dreams of standing one day. 5 events, 1 movement, a community rising together, a technology redefining finance, a year that will echo across the global blockchain world. This is Solnex. This is MetaSol. This is the year we make history.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Good to see you all again. We could just go around and introduce ourselves. My name is Logan, CEO of MetaSol and Solnex. Please, Ali, if you will introduce yourself.
Was waiting for the ladies, but I will go. My name is Ali. I'm a community builder, and nice to be here again. Thank you so much for the invitation.
My name is Victoria, and I'm a business presenter in German and English, as you know already. But it's really nice to see you again.
My name is Sophie, and I'm also a business presenter in English and German, and so happy to be here again.
Pleasure, guys, to be here again. My name is Rafaela Palermo, and I'm your favorite host and MC.
Absolutely. Pleasure having you all. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this week's webinar. good afternoon, evening, whatever time it is. Thank you. Today, we will be presenting our new Solnex green paper. It has been highly requested that we prepare a short business presentation, and this presentation will be posted on our website immediately after this webinar's conclusion, so that you can go through it. It will be there publicly. You can go through it on your own as well. So let's jump right in. The foundation of regulated digital finance. CashPay, our parent company, bridges the gap between traditional banking and digital asset innovation. Been in operation for over 2 years, since 2023. We have 100% regulatory adherence. We are a Tier 1 bank custody in the European Union jurisdiction. Now, let's go on to our journey of legitimacy. So, we were founded in Prague, and we received our virtual asset license on September 6th, 2023. We are fully MiCA compliant. Those of you who don't know what MiCA is, it is markets in crypto assets regulatory in Europe. So all companies have to report to this governance, right? So it's highly regulated. All companies operating under MiCA must have at least an office, 2 employees, and a CFO. We do operate under the gold standard. So we are based out of Prague, authorized to operate in virtual assets. Our company details are publicly verified by the Czech Republic and compliant in high standard jurisdiction. Here's a snapshot of our compliance. So the problem in today's market is that there's an ocean of noise. And this creates a paradox of how do you decipher the noise from the actual opportunities. So there's so much new data every day, 15 plus terabytes of raw data daily, 10 billion plus in daily volume, over 5,000 plus new tokens launched every single day. So what's the solution? Because these old tools are like looking through a telescope. They're showing you what has already happened. And you need to already be moving with, you only have milliseconds. Because if you don't get in on Genesis when these tokens are born, you already missed the yield. You already missed out. So what is our solution? We've created the Metasol protocol. So the Metasol protocol is a foundational on-chain intelligence layer, a decentralized autonomous system scanning the entire Solana ecosystem, identifying inefficiencies, generating yield programmatically. So there's 3 pillars to our intelligence. First, omniscient scanning. This is the Synapse network. So this scans DEX's activity on Jupiter, Orca, Radium, to name a few. And we're looking for Genesis detection. So when these tokens are born, when they're initially launched, before anyone really else can get in, we have to act in milliseconds, like I said. And it scans for any liquidations as well as whale tracking. We did a webinar you saw last week on, if you go to metasol.ai, on our new D app. It's officially launched. All right. Here is where we do our scanning. Here for trending tokens. Here, find gems by top volume, top gainers. And also here, large trades. These would be our whales that we watch and see where they're moving their money in the market. Then We have the predictive analysis, which is our cognitive core, trend identification, as well as scam filtering and P&L. This is where we look at the bubble maps. And the brain, this is where it deciphers what it will do. And then we have here the third pillar, the yield generation. This is the reflex. This is where arbitrage takes place. This is where Genesis sniping happens, momentum trades. And these are here, our snipers. So you see right now, 108 million total value locked. You can see our snipers. You click them, open it up. You see here this wallet's win rate, 7-day P&L distribution, analytics, 7-day suspicious activity. So it says scams and rugs here as well. Tokens traded, all listed here. You go to portfolio. You could see this specific wallet's portfolio. Activities. All the trading activities. You click here, brings it up, soul scan. You see everything's fully transparent, fully on the blockchain. So as you can see, our D app is live. We're not just a white paper. Our technology is on the ground and running. Everything is transparent and on chain. For the Metasol engine, we have a token called Metasol. Ticker symbol METASOL. Tokenomics are very crucial for any token. Also for the longevity of Metasol. That is why everyone in the community is vested for over 3 years, with the exception of the ecosystem, of course. There will be governance rights and future staking that we will discuss in future webinars. So, Metasol tokens, we have a cap supply of 10 billion. And this is where I'm talking about the ecosystem. So when you invest in grids and you activate them, you receive an exact dollar amount in Metasol token airdrop completely for free as a bonus. Here's the allocation. So you can see we have 5 categories of tokenomics, as well as a vesting schedule. Here are the categories. So the categories are mentioned, as well as the amount allocated and for what purpose, as well as their vesting schedule for all category holders. Now that we have the tokenomics, what is important is to see the liquidity and from where it is coming. That is why we created the liquidity flywheel. So we have the accelerator program where we offer 50% loans, and the loans foreclosure fee is 10%, which is entirely injected into the Metasol engine's liquidity pool. For example, as you see here, 1 million in loan repayment equals $100,000 in liquidity injection into the Metasol token liquidity pool. We will be publishing our liquidity pool at our Velocity event in Hong Kong as one of our key launches. Let's look at a graphical understanding, and you can see how this looks. The compounding advantage. So the more grids activated equal more members, which equal more loans distribution, which equals more loan foreclosure fees injected into the liquidity pool. This is a visual impression of how the liquidity flywheel operates over a period of time. Month to month, Solnex community is growing, grid activity is growing, loan foreclosures are growing. More time passes, more liquidity is injected. Because there's only injection of liquidity and no withdrawal of liquidity, the graph continues in an upward exponential manner, as you see. All injections are to be used for liquidity and nothing else. To understand what we will do with the liquidity, we need to discuss our roadmap. This roadmap is also on our website as well as in our white paper as well. So as you can see, we have already achieved all plans for Q4 of 2025. Genesis launch, Solnex platform and grids, public analytics dashboard, Sentient Ledger, volume 1.0. These roadmaps are related to our global tour. 2026 is extremely exciting for us as we will be expanding and we have a long journey ahead together. Our decks will also be launching very soon. 2027 is infrastructure phase, where we will be using these tools to generate even higher yields, such as derivatives and options, quantum yield as a service for institutions, as well as Metasol token staking. By 2028, we are fully decentralized autonomous organization. Now, we have covered our corporate structure, the foundation of our yield, and now we want to talk about our infrastructure building phase, which is Solnex. To feed the engine and build community, we are offering an affiliate program. Our affiliate program is organized into grids. This is a smart calculation table that represents a period of 365 days, because any grid activation will be valid for 1 year. This is a consolidated calculation based on that 1 year period. This represents 365 days of earnings for the Metasol investors until the grids need to be renewed. So let's go through this. You see grid 1, grid 2, grid 3, grid 4, grid 5, grid 6. The price to activate grid 1 is $25. To activate grid 2, $75. To activate grid 3, $225, and so on all the way up to grid 6 for a total activation price of $9,100. But as we said, we offer a 50% loan from a previous grid to activate the next grid, right? So because there's no grid 0, you will see that you can't use any loan to activate grid 1. So you will use the loan on grid 1 to activate grid 2. So 50% of $25 is $12.50 used towards grid 2. $37.50 is half of $75 to be used towards activating grid 3. And then you will use half of $225, which is $112.50 to activate grid 4, and so on. The loan used, see, because there's no grid 0, there's no loan to activate grid 1, but there is a loan to activate grid 2. That's where this number comes from. So then you will be using $12.50 to activate grid 2, $37.50 to activate grid 3, and so on, all the way up for a total loan value of $1,512.50. So your upfront cash, as we said, there's no loan for grid 1, but there is for grid 2. So instead of paying the $75 to activate grid 2, you will be paying only $62.50 to activate grid 2, because you have the $12.50 loan. Instead of paying $225 to activate grid 3, you will be paying only $187.50, and so on, up for a total. Instead of this $9,100, you will only be paying $7,587.50 because of this total loan of the $1,512.50. Now, your total yield on the $25 is $37.50. So by investing $25, you make $37.50. Invest $75, you're making $120. Invest $225, you're making $382, and so on, for a total yield of $17,752.50. But as we said, there is a 10% loan fee. So the fee on the $12.50 that you took from grid 1, the loan against grid 1, is $1.25. The fee for activating grid 3 is $3.75, and the fee for grid 4, $11.25, and so on, for a total fee for taking the loans is about $151.25. So you could think about it as about 1 Solana. So now this $13.75 is from adding the loan plus the loan fee. So $12.50 plus $1.25 equals $13.75. $37.50 plus $3.75 equals $41.25. And for grid 4, $123.75, and so on, for a total of $1,663.75. Now, your net profit. This is after paying off the loan as well as the loan fee. Because there's no loan on grid 1, all this $37.50 is your profit. But now if you use the loan to activate grid 2, your profit is $106.25 because you used the loan of $12.50 as plus the $125 of the loan fee, so $13.75. So instead of $120, you will get $106.25. That makes sense. For grid 3, you will get $341.25 instead of $382.50, and so on, for a total yield of $16,088.75 with using the loan. Now, these are the token rewards. The Metasol airdrop that you will receive 365 days from activating your grid. This is completely free, and you can do with it what you choose. So for grid 1, you will receive you activate grid 1, $25, you receive $25 in Metasol. You activate grid 2 for $75, you receive $75 in Metasol token. You activate grid 3 for $225, you receive $225 in Metasol token. All the way up, you activate all 6 grids, you will receive $9,100 in free Metasol tokens. Now, you can use these tokens to activate your grid for the following year, so there's no cost to you, or you can sell them on the open market. Completely up to you. So now if you add up all your total value for grid 1, $62.50, grid 2, $181.25, grid 3, $566.25, all the way up, you activate all the grids, you have a total value of $25,188.75 because you're including the Metasol tokens as well that you're getting for free. So this is a win-win. Also, we have insurance points that you're also being granted for free. So insurance points, for every $1, you will receive 100 insurance points. So you activate a grid for $25, you are granted 2,500 insurance points. Activate grid 2 for $75, you receive 7,500 insurance points. You activate grid 3 for $225, you receive 22,500 insurance points. So if you activate all 6 grids, you are receiving a total of 900,010 insurance points. This is another very unique selling point. You do not see this. This is very rare. So this is what's backing, and we'll get into explaining this soon on later slides. So this is a smart calculation table, very simply laid out, step by step. Now, let's have a look at the main takeaways from this table. So, grid metric summary, total cash invested. This is if you're using the loan activator. This 7,587.50. Total yield 17,000. Here it is, 17,752.50. Loans repaid 1,663.75. Total Metasol token bonus airdrop you get for free just for activating your grids, equivalent of $9,100, and also your insurance points as well. 910,000 insurance points for activating all 6 grids. So these are the key metrics. These are also the key takeaways. All grids must be activated in sequential order. In other words, you can't skip around, only activate grids 2 and 6. You have to activate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in sequential order. Loans are only to be provided and for using to upgrade your grids, not for transfers, not for withdrawals. For each grid, you have a loan, and this loan is auto-settled by your yield from the previous grid. So once the loan is settled, then 100% of the yield comes back to you as income automatically. Your overall yield, if you activate all 6 grids, will be about 330%. In our smart calculation table, we have mentioned insurance points. Let's talk about these now. So we have our reserve mechanism. For every $1 you deposit, you receive 100 insurance points. For every $1 you withdraw, 100 insurance points are depleted. This is called born to burn mechanism. For every insurance point added or withdrawal, your insurance points are added or burned proportionally, right? So $1 deposit equals 100 insurance points. If any insurance points are not cashed, if you don't cash them out yourself, they are fully backed in our Solnex reserve. This will be transparent and on the blockchain, and we will also reveal this at our event in Hong Kong in the end of January. This reserve is a plan for any potential insolvency situation in the future. This is the whole purpose of issuing and burning IPs, insurance points. 20% of all outgoing funds are added to the vault. So let's look at this in a graphical way. This graph represents the born to burn mechanism of insurance points. As I said, $1 invested grants you 100 insurance points. For example, $1,000 deposited is equal to 100,000 insurance points. You also have this this personal tracker here on your user dashboard if you want to play around with it. We are all about having solutions in place before any problems arise. This insurance mechanism is on point, and it's for the investors. So far, we have spoken on the foundation, our engine, the liquidity flywheel, and insurance points. Up to this point, we covered the passive members' profit. Now we will cover the active members' profit. For those people, we have the Solnex Rewards program. So this is for the members who want to build another stream of income. First rewards for direct income is 5%. So, as we said, your first 2 referrals are to qualify you for binary. On your 3rd referral, you will receive a 5% lifetime commission from any business they do. Now, for an example, let's say your third referral activates grid 3, you will receive $11.25. So and if they upgrade, you will also receive a commission on that, as long as you have the same grid unlocked. So if they activate grid 3 and you unlocked and activated grid 3, then you receive the commission. I will go on further and let's discuss further. So for those who want to build even larger and more streams of income, we have the binary rewards engine. This reward program is driven by a binary system. Your first 2 referrals make you eligible for binary. 1 left, 1 right. Your first 2 commissions, there's no first 2 commissions, but they qualify you for binary rewards. We have 6 types of binary rewards in our Solnex binary engine, grids 1 through 6. So this is grid matching. We said right, 1 left, 1 right, qualify you. Now this is grid matching. As long as you have grid 1 matching with grid 1, grid 2 matching with grid 2, you qualify for rewards. So let's say the examples. Say you have $50 of business in your grid 1 of your binary tree, of your weaker leg. Your income will be $6. Let's say you have $5,000 of binary income on your weaker leg on grid 3. Your income will be $350. Let's say you have $50,000 of business on your weaker leg of your binary income on grid 5. Your income for that day will be $3,000. All binary rewards are paid out daily. Capping, we will show on the next slides. The binary table is here for your breakdown. As I said, binary rewards are all paid out daily. So grid 1 through 6, you see the price to make the grid. And also the APY. So the APY varies from 150% to 200%. Grid 1 is 150%, grid 2 160%, grid 3 170%, grid 4 180%, grid 5 190%, grid 6 200%. The yield of 150% of $25 is $37.50. 160% of $75 is $120. 170% of $225 is $382.50, and so on until your yield is $17,752.50. Now, this is your binary match percentage, which you saw here. This is where these numbers come from. For grid 1, binary match percentage is 12%, which is extremely high if you know this industry. Grid 2, 8%, grid 3, 7%, grid 4, 6%, grid 5, 6%, grid 6, 6%. Now, the daily capping, which I mentioned on the previous slide, we will say now. So your cap for grid 1 per day, $100, grid 2, $300, grid 3, $600, all the way up to grid 6, you can make $10,000 per day. So the total max you can make per day is $17,500 in daily income. Let us now look at the key takeaways. Annual APY varies from 150 to 200%, as you see here. 150 for grid 1, 160 for grid 2, 170 for grid 3, 180 for grid 4. You can see for matching, binary matching, we have some of the highest, 12%. For grid 1, grid 2, 8%, grid 3, 7%, and then 6% all the way up to grid 6. Daily capping. $100 for grid 1, $300 for grid 2, $600 for grid 3, all the way up to $17,500. So, you are eligible for all rewards that have been activated for the same grid level that you have activated. So in order to receive all grid 6 binary matching rewards, you must also activate your own grid 6. If you don't activate the same grid, the rewards income will be held in your unclaimed income wallet for 72 hours until you activate the same grid yourself. So for an example, if you have 1,000 in rewards from your binary tree in grid 4 from your weaker leg, but you only activated up to grid 3 yourself, this income will be held in your unclaimed income wallet for 72 hours until you activate the same grid yourself. So also, any business volume that you don't match is carried forward for you indefinitely until you match it with your weaker leg. So nothing is wasted. This brings us to our next type of reward, the Solnex Ranks rewards. Anyone on your team using the accelerator to pay less upfront costs will qualify you for Ranks rewards. We have 12 levels of ranks. The first 10 are all paid weekly, every Friday. From activator to legend, there's a total of 10. And then these two, the higher levels, Grandmaster is paid out 1,000 Solana all at once, an instant payment. And above that is Samurai, pays out 10 full Bitcoins all at once and an instant payment. So those are not weekly, those are all at one time. Every Friday, the system checks and grants your rewards on your highest rank based on loan matching volume. Let us now look at our ranks rewards qualification table. You see here, activator is the first. This is what qualifies you for Hong Kong, actually, and many of you have, congratulations. By loan matching $5,000, you will be eligible for $300 in rewards, so $30 per week for 10 weeks. Then there's Mentor, $10,000 in rewards. I'm sorry, $10,000 in loan matching, qualifies you for $600 in rewards, paying out $60 per week for 10 weeks. Guardian, $25,000 in loan matching, qualifies you for $1,200 in total rewards, paying out $120 a week for 10 weeks. All the way up to Grandmaster, which, as I told you, you bring $5 million in loan matching, you get paid out 1,000 Solana all at once in a one-time instant payment. Then there's Samurai, you bring 10,000 into the system, you get paid out with 10 full Bitcoin all at once, instant payment. So the rewards are very big for the levels 11 and 12 here, Grandmaster and Samurai. If you bring a lot of loan matching into the system, many of you will qualify for these ranks, and this brings us to our transaction rules. So the same currencies are available for deposit and withdrawals. We accept Solana, so Sol, USDT, TRC20, and BEV20. As previously mentioned, 20% goes to the Solnex reserve. However, you can also make peer-to-peer transfers with your transfer wallet for a smaller fee of only 5%. You can use this transfer wallet to send funds to other people for, as I said, only 5% instead of 20%. And you can load, so every time you load your transfer wallet, a 5% fee is deducted, but then you make free transfers, and you can use these transfers to send to other people to build your business. So by this point, we've covered everything. We covered our foundation. We covered our foundation, legitimacy, the Metasol engine, the token and tokenomics, the liquidity flywheel, our roadmap, the reserve mechanism as well, insurance points, our smart calculator table for passive earners, as well as the rewards program for active earners and builders, the ranks as well. So we want you to be part of this journey. We want to meet you, greet you, recognize all the hard work you've put in throughout this journey. We have many strong events taking place this year. Our first one being next month, January, Velocity in Hong Kong. Many strong qualifiers will be there. The qualifications are actually here. You go to solnex.ai, events, Velocity, read more, check qualifications, and here it is. Here's what you need to qualify. Many of you already have. So this was our first business presentation. Starting next week, we will be having daily business presentations that will also be available on our social medias if you want to go ahead and watch them over and over to help you digest. And yes, I want to say thank you very much. This is not a tour, it's a global movement. Thank you so much for your time, attention. Together, let's build the future of finance through innovation, transparency, and sustainable growth. My name is Logan. Thank you very much. And this wraps up our green paper presentation for today. Thank you very much for your time and attention. What do you guys think?
Thank you so much. I'm really excited for Hong Kong, and happy to see you all in live.
Yes, looking forward to see all of you in Hong Kong.
Lovely.
Yes, I can't wait. So excited.
Likewise.
Can't wait to see
Likewise.
you. Hope you
Thank you,
enjoy.
everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Logan.
See you next time.
Thank you. See you.
Every new era begins with a spark. On January 30th, 2026, the future of on-chain finance ignites. Velocity 2026, the global launch of Solnex and the unveiling of Metasol Protocol's most powerful alliance yet. A strategic partnership with global crypto bank powered by Visa, instant banking, seamless stablecoin integration. Your rewards ledger now connects directly to the global economy, a tribute to the builders who led the 60-day pre-launch. This event is for them, the early visionaries who shaped Solnex. Access to Velocity 2026 is earned, and every detail matters. To earn the complimentary pass, members must achieve the activator rank or higher during the qualification window from November 10th to January 10th. This includes luxury stay, full access, and entry to the gala at no cost. 3 days across Hong Kong and Macau, crafted for the builders who will define the next decade of decentralized finance, January 30th to February 1st, 2026. A launch event unlike anything the industry has seen. Secure your place. Qualify before January 10th. This is where the next chapter begins, Velocity 2026. The future accelerates here.